The program of action of the Cairo conference is as relevant as ever today, as we face multiple crises of climate change, growing inequalities, war, and its consequences. Its full implementation is key to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, and thus it makes a valuable contribution to the forthcoming summit for the future. It places human rights at the heart of development policies and recognizes the importance of integrating population issues within the broader context of sustainable development. Our world is experiencing an unprecedented demographic shift. Populations are becoming more diverse than ever before. This presents both challenges and opportunities. And building demographic resilience, the ability of societies to adapt to these changes, is essential for ensuring a prosperous and sustainable future for our planet. In Bulgaria, we believe that investments in individuals are not just about building demographic resilience, but about creating a stronger, fairer, and more inclusive future for all. By empowering individuals, we foster a society where everyone can contribute and thrive. By ensuring reproductive health and rights, we promote gender equality and empower women and young people to reach their full potential. Our global conversation is ongoing. Bulgaria played its role in promoting this dialogue by hosting, together with the UNFPA, a conference on demographic resilience and diversity in Sofia in 2021. That conference led to the launching of the Decade of Demographic Resilience and the creation of the Sofia Alliance, a platform for sharing best practices and fostering international collaboration. Demographic shifts are long-term, but their impact is not predetermined. By harnessing the power of evidence-based policies and collaboration, we can effectively navigate these trends. So together, let's ensure that everyone, everywhere, can enjoy their basic human rights and build a future of choice and opportunity. Dear participants, let us use this dialogue as a springboard for action. We owe it to our children, our parents, our communities, to all those who yearn for a brighter tomorrow. There can be no peace, prosperity, or development without inclusive, demographically resilient societies where everyone's human rights are respected. Let our actions here reflect the gravity of this responsibility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Next, we'd like to invite His Excellency Mr. Yasushi Hosaka, Parliamentary Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Government of Japan, to deliver his speech as the co-host of this event.
Your Excellency Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Your Excellency Dr. Mohammed Hassan Mahmood, Foreign Minister of Bangladesh. Your Excellency Dr. Rokia Sultana, the State Minister for Health and Family Welfare of Bangladesh. Your Excellency Mr. Petoko Dragonov, Ambassador at Large, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Bulgaria, and Dr. Natalia Kanem, the Executive Director of UNFPA. Distinguished participants, my name is Hosaka Yasushi, a Parliamentary Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs of Japan. It is my privilege to deliver an address representing the Government of Japan, as well as the Japan Parliamentarians Federation for Population. It is a great honor for Japan to co-host today the Icpd 30 Global Dialogue on Demographic Diversity and Sustainable Development, together with UNFPA, the governments of Bangladesh and Bulgaria. I would like to express my sincere respect and gratitude to UNFPA for all its efforts in organizing the global dialogue and to the government of Bangladesh for hosting this conference. Global demographic change is closely linked to all development issues and has a great impact on the nature of the development. It is crucial for every country to accurately identify and forecast demographic change for the achievement of sustainable development. On the other hand, the world faces diverse demographic change. The world's population is expected to continue to grow from over 8 billion today to about 10 billion in the 2080s. In this context, high fertility continues in sub-Saharan Africa. Meanwhile, Asia and Latin America countries are dealing with how to take advantage of the demographic dividend, including youth employment and employment. Furthermore, low fertility and aging populations are increasingly evident not only in developed countries, but also in emerging nations. We also need to focus on such issues as international migration and the uneven distribution of populations. For instance, we need to address the challenges such as refugees, the international labor force, and the supply of social services associated with the urban concentration of the populations. On top of that, population growth or decline is not the only issue. From the viewpoints of human dignity and human rights, it is also critical to promote women's empowerment, including sexual and reproductive health and rights, which enable women to make decisions regarding pregnancy and childbirth on their own. Furthermore, ensuring access to maternal and child health services, nutrition, and chronic disease control is also essential to improving the quality of life of each and every person. In order to address diverse demographic issues, it is necessary to adhere to a basic perspective which embraces various relevant policies. At the core of this viewpoint is the notion of human security. Japan defines human security as a guiding principle for development cooperation, and it has taken the leading role in promoting it in the international community. In other words, it is important to realize a world where defenseless people can live safely and securely. One of the most critical approaches to address various demographic issues lies in our efforts on global health. We need to work towards more resilient, equitable, and sustainable universal health coverage. Japan has long been at the forefront of mainstreaming UHC. Japan was furthers its efforts in the field of population and development with the achievement of UHC in mind, and has also made financial contribution to UNFPA and other organizations. Based on its knowledge and experience, Japan has also promoted the importance of human security and UHC at international fora such as the UN General Assembly, World Health Assembly, G7, G20, and TICAD. Distinguished participants, Japan is keen to lead further dialogue on demographic diversity and sustainable development together with UNFPA and other partners. as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the ICPD. I believe that this dialogue will be a great opportunity to discuss on the demographic landscape of a world with over 8 billion inhabitants, as well as confirm the progress of the ICPD program of action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency Mr. Yasushi Hosaka, for your kind remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, with the 4th UN Small Island Development States Conference scheduled for later this month, we are pleased to have here with us the Honorable Ministers from Kiribati and the Maldives to share their perspectives. We invite Honorable Minister for Women, Youth, Sports and Social Affairs of Kiribati, His Excellency Mr. Martin Moretti, to kindly deliver his speech.
Excellencies, Sasek China, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, colleague ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First, allow me to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the government of Kiribati for this opportunity to be part of this very important global dialogue. I'm honored to address you as the Minister of Women, Youth, Sport, and Social Affairs for Kiribati at the Icpd 30 Global Dialogue hosted by Bangladesh, Japan, and Mongolia. In our small nation, nestled in the vast Pacific Ocean, the theme of this global dialogue are not just topic of discussion, but pillars of our society identity and progress. Our women, the backbone of our communities, are the custodians of our culture and the architects of change. Our youth represents the promise of tomorrow, brimming with energy and ideas to propel us forward. Sports, beyond its competitiveness of nature, unite us and promote inclusion and empowerment. Our social affairs encompass the broader spectrum of our collective well-being, from health to education and to social protection. However, we face formidable challenges. Climate change threatens our very existence. Economic variability persists. Gender disparities either progress, and the opportunities of our youth remain limited. Yet, we remain resolute. We can overcome these challenges through cooperation and innovation and build more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable future. Let us use this platform to forge partnerships, share best practices, and chart a course of action that uplifts women, empowers youth, enhances the power of sports, and promotes social well-being. Together, let us embark on this journey towards a brighter tomorrow, guided by equality, justice, and respect for human rights. May these deliberations here lay the foundation of transformative change, not only in Kiribati, but across the global. In conclusion, please allow me to bestow upon us all the Kiribati traditional glory, joy, health, peace, and prosperity upon us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now we request Honorable Minister of Social and Family Development of Maldives, Her Excellency Icpd, to deliver her speech.
Your Excellency, Honorable Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that I address this esteemed gathering on the 30th anniversary of the International Conference on Population and Development. I appreciate the government of Bangladesh for inviting us to engage in this important global dialogue. We stand at a crucial juncture where the principles of sustainable development are more pertinent than ever, particularly for small island developing states like ours. Our unique challenges and opportunities have shaped the Maldives' journey towards sustainable development. Our small size and geographical isolation make us acutely vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, economic volatility, and demographic shifts. Yet, we have not allowed these challenges to deter us. Instead, we have embraced them as catalysts for innovation and resilience. Central to our approach is the prioritization of human capital development. We recognize that investing in education and healthcare is not only a moral imperative, but also a strategic imperative for long-term prosperity. We empower our citizens to reach their full potential and contribute meaningfully to our society and economy by ensuring access to quality education and healthcare services, particularly for women and youth. Moreover, we have strongly emphasized harnessing the demographic dividend as a driver of sustainable development. Through comprehensive policies and programs, we promote reproductive health and rights, gender equality, and youth empowerment, including lifelong healthy aging at the center of our policies. By enabling individuals and families to make informed choices about their reproductive lives, we are laying the foundation for a healthier, more prosperous future for future generations. Yet, our commitment to sustainable development extends beyond our borders. We recognize that the challenges we face are global and require collective action and solidarity. In this spirit, we look forward to working together with other countries, such as our host, Bangladesh, on the shared journey towards sustainable development. As we reflect on the past 30 years and look to the future, Let us reaffirm our commitment to the principles and objectives of the Icpd program of action. Together, let us forge ahead towards a future of demographic diversity and sustainable development where no one is left behind. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Honourable Ministers, for your kind remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct pleasure of inviting Dr. Natalia Khanum, Under Secretary General, Executive Director of UNFPA, to deliver her speech.
Your Excellency, Sheikh Hasina, Honorable Prime Minister of the Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Honorable Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Mohammed Hassan Mahmood, Vice Minister Foreign Affairs of Japan, Mr. Yasushi Hosaka, Ambassador Petko Draganov of the Republic of Bulgaria, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished delegates, dear policymakers, dear young people, Assalamu alaikum, I greet you in peace. Peace is the fervent wish of the women and girls that UNFPA serves in over 130 countries around the world. Peace is the clarion call of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to heal the world in these turbulent times. For UNFPA, it is an honor to facilitate this global dialogue on Icpd 30, along with our outstanding host, the Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and in partnership with the governments of Japan and Bulgaria. We are most honored by the presence of Her Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister, a world leader who has prioritized issues vital to women and girls. And we are delighted to be joined by allies from around the world who are playing a role in shaping our collective Icpd journey. So much to celebrate. I salute you, and I thank you for your leadership, and I congratulate all of us on the successful conclusion of the 57th session of the Commission on Population and Development last month. Depend upon one to count to two. Depend upon one to count to two. As policymakers, as demographers, as statisticians, as academics, as leaders of civil society, over the decades, you have acted to defend rights and choices for women and girls and for all. Data, statistics, monitoring, evaluation, it all counts, and especially now, in a world grappling with conflicts and record humanitarian displacement, climate change, migration, and rising intolerance, and a surge of misinformation and disinformation. It is evidence and rights-based decisions that will shape the future of reproductive health and rights. I was there in Cairo in 1994 when the world came together at the International Conference on Population and Development as countries enthusiastically embraced a revolutionary shift, put women and girls at the center of development. I recall the powerful sense of purpose with the legendary Dr. Nafis Sadiq of UNFPA presiding and declaring, healthy families are created by choice, not by chance. Lots to celebrate. Since then, gains in sexual and reproductive health and rights transformed the lives of millions upon millions of people worldwide. Between the years 2000 and 2020, maternal mortality down by a third. And here in Bangladesh, it decreased even more by an impressive 38%. Since 1990, the number of women using modern contraception doubled globally. Since 2000, births among adolescent girls aged 15 to 19 fell by a third. And more countries enacted legislation to protect comprehensive reproductive rights, including measures to reduce unsafe abortion and to expand access to comprehensive sexuality education for young people. It is much safer to be a woman today, whether in Benin or Bangladesh. It's easier to get an education. It's safer to give birth, more possible for a girl to choose her life's trajectory. Yet we must admit that inequalities still reign. Too many women and girls have been left out of that progress. Even with significant strides, too many major gaps remain. Therefore, to achieve demographic resilience and sustainable development, address those gaps, those obstacles to achieving 3 transformative zeros: 0 unmet need for contraception, 0 preventable maternal deaths, and yes, 0 gender-based violence, all based on data and a foundation of good evidence. So I warmly welcome you to this ICPD 30 Global Dialogue on Demographic Diversity and Sustainable Development, because population policy is based on data, yet it's also about rights and choices. Who has them and who doesn't? The very intimate questions about whether, when, with whom to have children is in essence a personal decision that won't easily be swayed by factors outside of the family. Knowing that the reproductive years coincide with the years of productivity on the job, then women and couples will make decisions about fertility through the lens of what's good for life and career, how to nurture a new human being with the requisite support, how to juggle timing of procreation as well as recreation. In many places around the world, fertility trends are front page news, whether high fertility or low fertility. Talk about trends in demography has reached a power moment. Since the world topped 8 billion, we hear an ever louder chorus of alarm about population trends. Headlines express fears of an apocalypse, impending doom, both about overpopulation, in quotes, and sometimes about underpopulation, in quotes. Examining the facts, the pace, and the direction of demographic change has never been so diverse. 2/3 of people now live in places with below replacement fertility. In contrast, some countries continue to experience vigorous population growth. When we fall prey to the cacophony of dire predictions, however contradictory they may be, there is serious risk that women's reproductive rights will be undermined, and that's already happening. Calls for restrictive child policies, edicts to ban contraception in public hospitals, women urged to step away from career aspirations and to bear children for motherhood and country. Such pronatalist policy approaches that would dictate fertility have failed time and time again. Incentives for people to make babies just don't work. What does work is upholding rights and choices. What always works, ask women what they want. Research shows that structural inequalities, like gender inequality at home and on the job, contribute to high levels of voluntary childlessness. Women are voting no because of that double burden and lack of support. And there remain enormous gaps in the prevention and treatment of infertility for couples desperately trying to make a family. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, whenever we hear that people are hard to reach, I say that usually means that we haven't tried hard enough. UNFPA's 2024 State of World Population Report demonstrates that when we don't prioritize reaching people furthest behind, that undermines everyone's progress. Looking at the average disguises inequalities and extreme disparities in access, in outcomes for people pushed to the margins, living on the fringes of society. In order to safeguard the health, the well-being, and the rights of all people, we must illuminate the shadows where the most vulnerable dwell. And how do we do that? You know the answer more than most. Across all 6 regions where we work, UNFPA advises governments in Africa, Asia and the Pacific, Arab states, Latin America and the Caribbean, Eastern Europe, Central Asia. We advise on targeted interventions for those furthest behind. We collect more and better data, disaggregated by age, by location, by disability, by ethnicity, and so much more, to better understand who is being left behind and how to reach them faster. Take Brazil, for example, the country with the largest diaspora of people of African descent. For the first time, their census counted members of the historically neglected Quilombo communities. With this data, government can now devise evidence-based policies to meet the needs and uphold the rights of people of African descent. Moderator, allow me to pause.
It's all right, ma'am. Please continue. We have a doctor here.
Thank you very much. Technology also holds promise to reveal inequalities by digitally mapping vulnerable populations. Let us all try harder to reach that last mile. UNFPA supports population census and the use of such data to ensure that everyone is counted because everyone counts. With the power of technological advances, governments now have the potential to prepare for their likely demographic futures, including through needed policy changes. Let me tell you that there are proven strategies that we can deploy right now to leverage demographic diversity as a catalyst for individuals and communities and countries to make progress and to thrive. Therefore, depend upon one to count to 2. First, use demographic data to respond to the specific needs of vulnerable populations. Data equals power. Disaggregated data analysis equals more power. Commit to disaggregated data. If you have to, climb up the hillside, jump on the boat, put on your backpack and get on horseback to reach anyone who otherwise would be invisible. Interpret their language. Let no barrier stop us from seeking truth through data. From Sofia in Bulgaria in 2021 to our next discussion about demographic resilience in Lisbon, Portugal, later this year, UNFPA will stand with you. Statisticians, demographers, government officials, parliamentarians, young evaluators, women and girls, and everyone, to assure the visibility of people currently left behind. Next, let us address factors that affect pregnancy and childbearing decisions. Given that nearly half the world's pregnancies are unintended, it is imperative to expand access to sexual and reproductive health services, to contraception, and to comprehensive sexuality education.